want to welcome you to the Carondelet School. So this building was built in 1871, which is 6 years after the end of the Civil War, which kind of melts your mind a little bit when you think about it from that perspective. This neighborhood of Carondelet has, seen a lot of history. And, a lot of people don't know that Carondelet was actually kind of the Ellis Island of St. Louis. It was where a lot of the immigrants at different times would get off the riverboats and would, start in the manufacturing space, in the industrial space, and work their way up to the big city of St. Louis. And what's really cool about that is the Conflux, which is the nation's first co-learning space for manufacturing and distribution company. 150 years later, this building, which was built to educate the children of manufacturers and laborers, really is coming back to do that once again. And so, it's really, really neat from that perspective. So Carondelet is a pretty eclectic neighborhood if you've spent much time down here. There's a wide variety and diversity in architecture. There's a wide variety and diversity in economics and race. And it's really a testament to the history of this neighborhood of serving lots of different people as their platform to get started. And that's why when my partner Brandon and I looked for a new location to launch this non-for-profit, the Conflux, and to move our marketing company, Go Brand Go, we thought this was the perfect neighborhood because of its industrial nature and because it's historically been a place for artisans, craftsmen, and immigrants. And so now that we're here with the Conflux, this is an important time for manufacturing and distribution. And so manufacturers and distributors, so I grew up on a fifth generation dairy farm, and I've found as Go Brand Go, our marketing company, we've worked with these companies for nearly a decade now, is that they're kind of cut from the same cloth as farmers. They're kind of put on their boots and go to work type of people. And they don't really take the time to get out there and network and go to a lot of events to learn about what's happening in their industry. The one place that they typically do go are trade shows. And as we all know, trade shows during COVID, didn't really happen. And what we also know is that trade shows, their competitors are also going there. And so the cards are held pretty close to the chest. So the Conflux is a place where these business owners, these manufacturing and distribution companies, can come together, and we're going to be curating the content and connection from them to learn with and from each other. Because the change this industry is facing, they're going to see more changes in the next 5 years than they've seen in the last 50. And if they don't innovate their business models, they'll cease to have a business to model. And these businesses are the backbone of our country. These businesses typically have their administrative office in St. Louis. They've got factories in small towns across the state and across the country. And if these companies go out of business, these small towns, they may employ 10, 20, 30% of these small towns. And if these factories go under, those small towns go under. And so, in no small part, these companies, as the backbone of our country, are really the fabric of small town USA. And we take that responsibility very seriously of how can we help these companies not just be successful and move on, but actually thrive and grow their jobs and to grow the opportunities that these folks are facing. And so the conversations that these companies need to have are the ones that are really difficult right now for them to have anywhere. They don't really have a place for it. So there's athletic clubs and there's country clubs, but the Conflux will be the first business club for manufacturing and distribution companies. The place where they can come and they can gather and they can, like I said before, learn with and from each other. And so, this is a type of organization and a type of project that could not be successful without a lot of partnership and hard work from a lot of different people. And this is to me exactly what government is supposed to do. There was a lot of opportunities and a lot of situations where at the state level, at the city level, and specifically at the neighborhood level, where the partnership between public and private really came together in a way to make something special happen. And a big person that's a big part of that is who I'd like to introduce to come up next is our alderwoman, Sarah Martin. And Sarah has been a fantastic ally from from the get-go, from step one. And she's been a fantastic partner, and this neighborhood is so fortunate to have her down here because this neighborhood has had its challenges over its history. When Interstate 55 went in the 50s, it's been kind of time capsuled, and it's a neighborhood that's been underinvested. Some may even say it's been redlined over the years. But people like Sarah and James and Fred Hessel, these are folks that have kept this neighborhood from really falling apart in ways that it could have without their leadership. And so with that, I'd like to introduce Sarah Martin Wood, our alderman for Carondelet.
Mayor Jones has visited the ward many times in her, maybe how many months now? 6, 7? All right, 6, 7 month tenure. So I very much appreciate that. Congratulations. This is so exciting. And I just want to touch on the fact that a lot of folks in St. Louis don't realize that we have a thriving manufacturing hub east of Broadway. Many of you probably got off the highway off 55 to come here today. I would encourage you, especially if you're headed back downtown, to just go a few blocks and drive up South Broadway and look over east and look over at the businesses along the river, because there are a lot of things that are made over there. In fact, the pasta that you buy over at Schnucks is made over there. So I do want to highlight that. It's just, it's maybe not, they're not building ships east of the river like they did, or east of Broadway at one time, but there are modern manufacturers that are making things that we use every single day. We are a business here in the ward. They're starting to make pea protein, which is something that we're seeing on the grocery shelves, and they're expanding. Really good paying jobs that just sort of fly under the radar here. And so I'm really excited for what Derek is doing and what Conflux is doing. I think that this is the perfect spot for that, and it'll be the perfect marriage. And again, congratulations, and thanks for having me.
I'm proud to have such an innovative space like Conflux call St. Louis home. And I want to congratulate everyone who was able to make this day possible. Like the previous people have already said, manufacturing has a long legacy in St. Louis. And the Carondelet neighborhood was once an industrial powerhouse for our region, with a history stretching back to the Civil War. The Carondelet shipyard helped supply munitions and manufactured 32 ironclad gunships for the Union Army during World War II, and provided critical supplies to our allies. Industry, in turn, brought good jobs, good union jobs for St. Louis families to support themselves and their communities. While our city, our economy, and our neighborhoods have changed, Carondelet is still home to many industrial companies like Superior Industrial Supply, Arch Metals, and more. And St. Louis offers many industrial advantages such as major rail, roads, and a ports hub. With our strategic position in the middle of the country and on the Mississippi River, we remain the third largest inland port in the nation. But we must continue to innovate and share ideas if we want our manufacturing sector to succeed in the long term. Conflux will serve as a place for industry leaders in a trusting environment to actively collaborate, share best practices, and learn from one another. This will help support new businesses so they can adapt and grow and create good paying jobs. Manufacturing remains a key part of St. Louis's economy, and Conflux will help strengthen the industry in our region for many, many years to come. The benefits will be immediate for the neighborhood as well. Based in the renovated Carondelet School, Conflux will be an anchor in this community, bringing more people to the neighborhood to spend their time and, most importantly, their money. That'll help make the Patch neighborhood grow stronger and safer. And as mayor, it's simple. I just want St. Louis to win again. And I hope through knowledge sharing and collaboration, guided by groups like Conflux, we can move our manufacturing sector in creative new directions and revitalize our neighborhoods. So thank you for inviting me here today. God bless.
Thank you everyone for being here. My name is Matt Minetti. I'm the Executive Director of Conflux Co-Learning. We couldn't thank you more for coming. We've got a beautiful day for this. That concludes our press conference, and thank you so much for coming.